Welcome back, boys and girls, to another edition of Activists Suck, franchise series where we show you reasons why activists will always suck. Because back in the day, you could look at a bunch of activists and you could think to yourself, some of these people are actually doing something that could lead to some productive change. While nowadays, in the year 2024, you don't really get that. You just get a bunch of people getting on TikTok saying, boo-hoo, I want something done, and then they go do something that is completely irrelevant and completely stupid, and it will make everybody who doesn't know about it see you and hate whatever it is you're fighting for. Doesn't matter if it's rights for women, gay people, transgenders. You have these people who don't know how to actually spread a message, and they just decide it's a better idea to just do some dumb shit because that's more worthy of our time instead of really talking about any of these issues. And I guess today's subject has something to do with oil, because you would think with all these gas prices going up, with all this oil harming a bunch of people, you would want something done about that. And you would want to go to all of these corporations that have a bunch of oil that they spread all across the globe. Right? Nah, we gotta fuck with some rocks because that's gonna get it done.
My name's Neve, I'm 21 and I'm a student at the University of Oxford. Today I'm taking action with Just Stop Oil to demand that the UK government commits to signing the Fossil Fuel Non-Proliferation Treaty and promises to stop burning fossil fuels by 2030. To refuse to do so is to warrant death, destruction and suffering on an absolutely immense and immeasurable scale.
Excuse me, Remy from Ratatouille, could you help me out by saying how on an immeasurable scale this is going to cause damage? How will this lead to damaging effects across a bunch of parts of the world or in the UK specifically? Could you tell me how instead of just describing what's going to happen? Because I'm looking at you and I don't really think you're somebody I would trust with information on a geographical type of scale.
Today, we'll be taking action at Stonehenge the day before the solstice. For thousands of years, people have come to Stonehenge on the solstice to celebrate our natural world, to celebrate the beauty of our natural world. But I can't help thinking, what does it look like today and what the heck have we done to it? These stones have stood here for 5,000 years. What will the world look like in 5,000 years' time? What will our legacy be? It's becoming ever more clear that we end the fossil fuel era or the fossil fuel era ends us.
Not to be that guy, but we're all gonna die. And in this minute of you describing what it is you're going to do, you never really explained anything. You're just saying you hate something and you want to try to protest it. And instead of going towards any of the buildings, trying to speak to any executives, trying to speak to any employees in the building, you're deciding that before the solstice, you're going to vandalize a bunch of rocks because, yes, in your mind, that's going to make people see that the world needs to get rid of the fossil fuel era or the fossil fuel era will end us all. Well, in your case, it looks like a bunch of weed will end you, but that's besides the point. I'm not really seeing how defacing a tourist attraction is going to make anybody care about fossil fuels. You kind of lost me on that one just a little bit. Congratulations, you wasted your own time. You're probably going to face a repercussion for defacing some historical monument. You're probably not going to get the message across to anybody like me who would maybe consider this a big issue. And it would lead me to ask the question, how come you're wanting to paint over rocks and not bring these issues to the companies that hold all the fucking oil. That's the thing that always confuses me about some of you weird activists. I know it ain't all of y'all, because some of y'all really do be about some change, and you go about it with productive tactics. There are activists out there that do this. I'm mainly focused on you dumb motherfuckers that just suck all the time, and you ruin the reputation of every single group or entity that you want to fight for or against. You lead more people to support oil companies when they realize you're the ones out there trying to stick it to the man by throwing paint on rocks or trying to paint over paintings that are either historical or copies of another one or bought from somewhere else or bought from this place or bought from that place. This shit leads to nothing. PETA ridiculously keeps letting us all know that we should be ashamed to eat animals, but every time they post something, it makes me want to rip a chicken's head off and drink the blood from the inside. This shit don't help nobody. But it's commonplace. It's what people look at and think, yes, we must come up with an idea to make sure that everyone sees what we're doing, because once we get it done, people will start to pay attention. People will make sure that they see us and they hear us and they pay attention to what we have to say. And once we do this completely irrelevant thing, look, if I piss on these curtains right here, is it gonna make you care about the trials and tribulations of me having to pre-order a bunch of video games because it's looking like a good year come the end of this year when it comes to video games? No, you're gonna be confused why I'm pissing on the fucking curtains? No fucking wonder. It's because whatever message one wants to get across, one tends to be distracted by the stupid shit one is doing. For example, I oftentimes talk about something an individual would consider serious. Do you know how many people didn't care about that? And they're wondering why the fuck I got a pink hat? It's because, why don't I come out here with a little bit of fashion? It's because it's fun for me, but it's mindless fun. It's fun that shouldn't distract you too much, but it does sometimes. That could be applied to you activists. You people don't know what you're doing, and you think the stupid shit you do is going to lead to some form of change, and arguably it might. It will lead to even more people supporting the things that you want changed in society, because they will look at you and think, wow, what a dumbass. Let me go support the people they hate so much, because fuck you. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to the channel. I will see you all the next time I decide to fight for something. And instead of telling you about it, I just spend about 3 minutes drinking water and pissing on the floor to try to get you to care about something, because I know your attention span means that much to you. Goodbye.